Really excited to be at the ranch today because I'm about to take on the project of building an off-grid tiny home. So here's the location, and the cows are actually grazing in this back pasture right now. So this shed that I want to turn into a tiny home, it's finished on the outside, but the interior is completely bare, just studs. So I have a lot of things in my head, right? What do I want to do with this? I want to have AC, I want to have heat, I want to have an area to sleep, I want to have an area to watch TV, so many things. But the first thing is to figure out the electrical on this thing. So I drew out and laid out all the electrical plans, and yes, I might be going overboard. I've only done houses before. Plus on top of that, I am hooking up a generator to power this off-grid tiny home. Now, it might be the wrong thing to do, but I'm not a licensed electrician, so don't follow anything that I'm doing. So with the ladies hanging out, let's get started.
Starting off by mounting the electrical panel and running wires to all the locations I want outlets.
So I'm wiring a outlet up high, so the power cord from the TV is not showing. I'm thinking, so you would really think that I am building a house because I laid out all my tools. I mean, the only thing that you're not seeing here or hearing here is I had the radio on before listening to some Whiskey Myers, but it's going to be awesome now. Awesome.
So I'm doing my best here and running wiring into what will be a switch box for my lights and fans. I want this tiny home to be super hooked up so I can spend more time here at the ranch. So I'm taking the time and doing everything the best I can, which means making sure it's built to last, at least by my standards.
I've been wiring for the past few hours, which is crazy because it's been uninterrupted. Usually I have a cow problem or something else here at the ranch that I need to take care of. There's lots to take care of, but I was not interrupted, which is great. So the sun is starting to go down, which means I'm going to lose light. I did get some good amount of wiring done, so happy about that. Oh, check this out. There's a whole bunch of them. A whole family of deer back here. They must be going to someone's house for a barbecue. Well, that's a nice scene to close out day one. So I just got to the ranch for another day of electric, but of course, always to start the day is to let these guys out. Always waiting for me. You guys know I'm here, huh? Brenda, how are you? Bessie, how's my girl? Mona, you in a good mood today? And little Bessie, how are you? You're getting so big. You know what I've been noticing, and I said this before, a few months ago, I had them just loose on the one pasture, and it's really not fenced in well. There's a lot of breaches in it, and I've had problems with the neighbors' longhorns coming over here. I think there was some mating going on. Bessie, come here for a second. Bessie is, I don't want to cow fat shame her, but Bessie, you've gotten big, girl. Yeah. She's put on some weight. And even though little Bess is still feeding on her, oh my God, look how wide she is. I mean, compared to the others, like Mona could be pregnant too. But like you can see, Brenda, just how her sides are, she's fine. What's up, Brenda? Yeah, Brenda's fine. Mona, I don't know, but Bessie, oh Lord, girl, if those longhorns, and that's definitely what it is, those longhorns got Bessie pregnant, that means we're dealing with a Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Anyway, gonna let these guys out. Come on, ladies, get some fresh grass up here. Out you go. Come on. Yeah, you can see. My God, girl. She's absolutely pregnant. Trying to think how I handle this one. I mean, she could barely walk. Bessie. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Bessie and the girls' lawnmower service is available. Just reach out to me in the comments. They're not cheap. So it rained last night. Everything's fresh. Love days like this on the ranch. But I'm going to go inside, get changed, start doing some more electric.
Heading down to the future tiny home, the best way I know how, by ripping around in the four-wheeler. Hey, I'm having some fun when I can.
So just to recap day one, so what I was able to accomplish was running most all of the wires into the outlet boxes and the switch boxes. So the hope is here in day two is that I'll be able to finish that and then move on to the ceiling fans and the puck lights and all of that extra stuff. So it's probably going to take me 3 days here, but here we are in day two. So we're moving.
This is the last wire I'm pulling through an outlet box and finally feeling some accomplishment as now I can focus on installing the remaining outlets. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking, how great is it going to be having a beer fridge in this thing? I mean, that could be the most important thing in the tiny home. I'm also installing 3 external outlets. I'm thinking future plans on this tiny home, so want to make sure I'm installing all I would ever need going forward.
Gonna take a quick break from the electric and grill up some dogs. You can't beat this right now. Awesome weather, great view, some good dogs. They're Angus hot dogs, so don't tell the ladies. They're good though.
I'm back to work and focused on putting in all the remaining outlets.
So that was the last outlet that needed to be installed. Unfortunately, I am running out of daylight and I have other ranch chores to do. So I have to stop at this and take care of a few other things. So these hay bales here, I have stockpiled for the winter. And the reason why I'm stockpiling them, and I learned the hard way last winter, is hay becomes so expensive in the winter. I had no idea. You know, you think about hay and you're like, hey, it's not gonna be that much. Well, guess what? It gets up there. I was lucky in the winter if I could find a round hay bale for $125. So I was able to stockpile a few. The problem is though, is that my security camera that is over here has been going off the past 3 nights. And what it's been catching is this. So the multi-family tenants of deer that I have on my land, I guess they like the hay too, but I have to save it for the cows. So what I ended up doing is buying a large tarp, and I'm gonna go ahead and tarp these hay bales, and hopefully that's enough to make sure that they're not touching it, because I need these bales for winter.
Not the prettiest thing in the world, and hopefully I'm doing this right. I have a feeling I'm creating a mansion for field mice and rats, but as long as they don't eat the hay and it's there for the cows when I need it, I'll take it as a win. This tree here has been knocked down and laying in the front since we bought the place. Definitely an eyesore. Not as bad as the double wide, but an eyesore. And with the cold front moving in, it's time to get rid of it and also get some free firewood. Look at that. Something living in there. So much better.
So the sun is almost down. Gave these guys a little snack. I'm gonna clean up what I can and then get back tomorrow on finishing this electrical in the off-grid tiny home. Until tomorrow. Another morning, another day at the ranch, and also another day to tackle this electric in the tiny home. But as always, gotta check on the ladies. How you guys doing this morning? You guys ripped through that hay. My goodness. I'll tell you, they're like Kobayashi with hay. I mean, that hasn't even been out a week. Come on. Come on, ladies. So before I get to doing some electric here, I gotta fix this trailer. So I ended up blowing out this tire on the trailer. You can see, I mean, just destroyed. Completely destroyed. Not only that, but the bearing completely just busted up. So ended up getting a new tire here. Gonna put that baby on right now so I can bring my tools down to the tiny home. So I'm hoping this is just a simple slip on here. Is it? Is it going to be? No, of course not. So this spare I got comes with 2 sets of bearings, comes with 3/4 inch ones as well, and those will fit. Gonna change these out.
Just have to fill that up with air now, and we are good to go. Unfortunately, that is about as far as my mechanic skills go. Probably the best you're gonna see from me.
Wonder what Brooks and Dunn are doing right now. Not this. What is going on? So after all of that, uh, the tube in the tire is punctured, and I can't seal it. I tried some of that slime stuff. The puncture's too big. So all that, all that, and it's like you take a step forward, then you take 2 steps back. I think He-Man said that. I don't know. The whole tube was punctured. So annoying. We'll just load up what we can on the four-wheeler here and take a couple trips down and get on this electric. This better not be a sign for the rest of the day, because I'll be pissed.
Loading up most of what I need to work on the tiny home today. Would be really nice to have a trailer, but wasn't dealt a good card on that today. Things could be worse though. I have the older four-wheeler out today. It's so banged up that I don't mind loading it all up without a trailer.
Let's do this. So I know this looks like spaghetti right now, but this is going to be 4 switches, so 4 light switches. That's why there's so many wires here. One of these switches is going to control 2 floodlights that I'm putting outside. Another switch is going to control 2 outdoor lantern lights I'm putting outside. And another switch, the third switch, is going to control 2 fans that are being installed. The last switch is going to be a switch for all of the puck lights. A lot of wires, looks like spaghetti, but we're looking good.
So I screwed up here. This is an external lantern light I'm installing that won't sit flush against the siding, and it's not secure at all. So I'm getting creative here and making a flush plate for it. This will go around the metal housing box and allow the lantern base to mount securely. Spray painting them white, and look at that. I think it's a real nice finish. Doing the same exact thing to the lantern light on the other side of the door, and also to the outside floodlights I'm installing.
That's a decent finish right there. Not bad. We're getting there.
Getting things done here and actually putting in the switches for the indoor lights, the outdoor lights, and the fans.
So came in here to grab some tools for the shed and got a call from my neighbor Andy. So he said, I have a problem with the cows. I let the cows out front. That borders Andy's property. We have a fence there. And apparently the cows wanted to have a party with his horse and his donkeys and busted through the fence. Now, looks like I got to go get some cows, fix some fence. Never a dull moment. Oh my God, these damn cows, man. They busted through the fence. That's Andy's. That's the neighbor's side. Oh my God. 2 of them right there. So Bessie and Mona. Always something.
Grabbed a bucket of cattle cubes and placed it down next to a gate that goes between Andy's place and mine. Just doing that will entice the girls to come back over. This stuff is cattle crack and always works like a charm. As they chow down on the cattle cubes and are occupied for a bit, I'm gonna take a break for myself.
This is what I'm looking at right now, fixing this fence. That's Batman. These guys. Bessie. They're anxious to go back. They're liking it over there. So, of course, that pulls me from doing the electric to doing this crap. Yeah, never a dull moment. This fence between me and the neighbor, it's not very good. We've been talking about updating it anyway. This is just gonna hopefully just hold them in for now. I have more friends with me now. Batman, the donkeys. Look at these guys. Bessie, you guys gotta stop. Oh my God.
All the animals finally went their separate ways, thank God, and I was able to begin one of my least favorite things to do on the ranch, fixing fence. With the sun going down quickly, I was losing light, so packed it in, and unfortunately for me, this is my last ranch chore of the day, and the tiny home electric is going to wait one more day. That sounded like something Dr. Seuss would say. I'm still rhyming.
That's Texas for you, right? On Monday, short sleeves. Tuesday, some snow. But then it's probably going to be 100 degrees tomorrow and I can start working on my tan. We had all that snow and it's going to be gone quicker than it came in. I'm actually going to leave the ladies back in this back pasture. So I'm going to give them some cattle cubes and I'm going to head down to the tiny home and finish off the electric. Finally. I feel it. Today's the day. Here you go. Ah, Mona. Jeez. You serious? Come on. Bessie, the girl. Brenda. Come here, ladies. They're happy. Oh, by the way, got a tube. That flat is fixed on the trailer, which is good because I have a lot of stuff to bring down to the tiny home to finish this baby up.
Packed up and heading down to the tiny home. Best part of the day right here. Well, maybe not as good as when I get all the electrical done. I'm wasting no time today and went right into putting together the ceiling fans. I really like the look of these for the tiny home, especially the lights on them. Really sharp.
So installing these puck lights just so I can test them once I light this whole thing up. These are super light, so I'm just going to connect them, maybe hook them on the electrical wire here. I have a total of 8 of these. They just plug right in. I'm just going to match it up though. It's like Squid Games. You got to match the arrow to the arrow. Doot, 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 doot.
So with the LED puck lights and ceiling fans all wired and installed, I moved on to setting an 8-foot grounding rod that is connected to the electrical box into the ground. Worst part of all the electrical by far. It's tough work. I mean, I'm old and dying. After that was creating a mounting support for the generator power box so it's nice and secure, drilling a hole through the tiny home for that main power from the electrical panel, and wiring the generator power box. Really like the way that it turned out, if I do say so myself.
That was the last step in the electric process, and the only thing left to do now is to light this thing up and see if it all works. However, I need a generator, and you're probably saying, how come you don't have the generator? Well, I'm an idiot, because I waited, and of course we had this Texas snowstorm, and before the storm, everyone started freaking out and wiped out all the generators in the store, so I don't have one. So I made a call to my buddy, my next door neighbor, Andy, and he's going to stop by because he says he has a generator that will power this thing, and at least we can test it.
Andy to the rescue with a generator to test this all out. Now, I'm not going to lie here. I am super nervous about this. If this doesn't work, I'm tracing back all my steps in the wiring process. So with the generator running now, it's time to connect the cable that runs from the generator to the generator power box. Now, time for the first power check. Do we have a green light on the box? Oh, what a relief, we do.
All right, so generator is on. Now let's see here. The main wire going in. Awesome. Let's see if this thing worked. So these are the floodlights outside. Success. These are the lantern lights outside. 2 for 2 here on the switches. Okay, this is the fan. Lights on. Okay. Operate the fan here. Oh, hell yeah. Super excited about that. And then these are the puck lights. And there we go. Yes. All the switches work. The only thing left is the outlets. So I'm going to plug into a random outlet here. They're all daisy chained. Working there. I mean, we're looking good here. Let's do another random outlet. Yes. Let's try the TV one up high. I mean, do you believe in miracles? Yes. And then let's check the GFCIs outside.
Tested the external lights the same way and even plugged in a grinder to see how the power held up. Perfect.
So how about that? It all works. I am super excited. So the electric phase of the tiny home is complete. Now I can move on to the next phase to get this thing completely done. There's more to come. Another day at the ranch.